Hey YouTubers, what's up? Christmas came early. I put out the big stocking and Santa left this for me. Isn't that nice? Got it all hooked up for you. So what I'm gonna do is show you the connections so you can see how it's all hooked up. We went ahead and unhooked the mobile and getting it ready to go in the car. This was the one that was on the roof for a while. Put the 2-meter beam, micro beam up, the compact 10 and 2-meter micro beam. That's hooked up with that. There's the rotor. Show you back here. This one's a HF UHF VHF, all mode. Shack in a box is what it's set for. Yeah, I'll show you what I did with the mag loop. We got 40 meter up through the SDR. Okay, right, running off the mag loop. We run it into the switch here. Now you notice one of them's hooked up to this. This now goes to the SDR. Okay. Then this one, the black one, the smaller loop that if you've been watching the mag loop series, we took the noise out of the big loop with the small loop. Okay. I run it up to the switch here. Okay. And then it goes all the way over here. Hooks into the meter. And then from the meter, goes over to the HF. So now we got 40, 80, I'm lacking on 20 for some reason. This setup, I can't get it to resonate on 20. So I've lost something in between the connections there. So, but let me pop it down here. Let's see. Let's jump to 40 here. Now that's the little mag loop. Okay. No noise. It is absolutely silent. RF gains all the way up. Let's unlock our VFO. Start to hear the let me check this out. It's so noiseless that it barely shows up on the scope. I was kind of shocked whenever I was looking at it. I was kind of shocked that it doesn't even look like it's on. But it is. You can see it up there. It's working. I've got to set this radio a little better on the for the receive. There's a lot to go through in the manual, but yeah, I was pretty shocked that the noise is gone, totally gone from it. I was going to show you some modulation on it, but holding this phone here, scanning through is kind of bummer. But you can see it works. That's coming through the SDR. You can see all the people there chatting away. You can see it in the in the scope. And I noticed for some reason my receive's real low. I think I got to turn on the preamp on that. But I've got it hooked up now into the through the switch here. This one goes out to the roof for the 6-meter dipole, which was a big fail for me. I got it all hooked up, and it's laying over there on the floor. I got it all hooked up and threw down the key on it, and let me switch this over. And it came through my TV, it came through my stereo or my surround sound unit, blanked out that TV, hit my neighbor's TV. So our 6-meter dreams are dashed, so to speak. So we're stuck with VHF UHF for now. So, but I wanted you guys to see the connections, because I like to show everybody the connections, how this goes. Alright, this is coming out of the radio. This is the HF side. I marked it HF. This is the VHF side, okay? It's just a jumper. It goes back there and then comes back around to right here, okay? That's the HF side of the meter, okay? Same way with this one. It goes back there and comes back in right here, okay? So that's these connections. And then this connection here, okay? This goes to the switch. So you follow it out. This is the HF side. Follow it out there. It pops out right here. And it goes down to the switch right there, okay? And then this feeds the antenna from outside, okay? And I can switch from the outside to the mag loop right here, okay? And of course, you've seen the ground from the last video, the grounding system. I got it actually hooked up now to the meter, okay? Disconnect right there. And then, of course, the base had its own lug right there to connect it to. That's our power coming up from the power supply. Same one as we use for the mobile. And then there's the USB connector. And then it goes over there to the computer, right over there. Okay. And then the last one is the external speaker right here. Okay. A lot bigger speaker than what's in here, so a little bit better. But that's the connections, guys. Alright. Let me switch this over if I can. 2-meter, there we go. We're on 2-meter simplex. Now I'll show you the fancy little microphone. Okay. That's the MS-90 microphone. But mine's not the desktop. I bought the MS. Is the micro switch handheld. Okay. So just push the button. Throws the key. There you go. Or you can drop it in and it stays keyed down till you push it back up. So it's you can momentary or leave it full function. But I didn't want the desktop. I remember from my 11-meter days, you're constantly leaning forward into that mic, and your desktop's usually never tall enough, and your back will hurt after a while. So that's why I went with the microphone stand. Okay, that's an Amazon one. Instead of putting it upright, because I have my keyboard in the way, okay, I turned it this way and just adjusted the height up and down this way. And what it does is it swings out. So when you're sitting in your chair, your microphone's at mouth level. That way you don't have that constant. If it was down here, you're constantly doing this, leaning down. And if you talk very long, you're constantly leaning down like this, and it hurts your back. So I went with the microphone stand. That's the MS90, just so you know. And all this is the 2 wires you see connected to the switch. Now it does have a switch inside here, and it takes out the low filters, a low band pass filter in there. It takes out the deep tones in your voice for sideband use. Plus it works for FM too. I've been adjusting the settings on that. I've got the audio sounding real good. I've had a couple people help me with the audio, and I could show you the settings, but everybody's going to be different, so you really got to do it like it says out of the manual, okay? Because what it says in the manual how to set it up, it really works, but you will probably need to turn the mic gain up. I turned mine up quite a bit from what it was, the stock. So, but it doesn't peak, so it sounds really good. But that's where the old mobile used to sit. Just some silicone on there. I'm gonna get some alcohol and pull that off there, and it'll be good as new. And of course, you remember the microphone. The cord used to sit right here, and with hot glue, pulled it right off, no problem. It's right here. It's all good. Can't even hardly tell it was on there. That's where the hot glue was. So you can see a little bit of it right there. But that's the mobile. That's its setup. But those are the connections. I wanted you guys to see that. We're still running our filters. Now, there's no toroids on this coax stuff. This meter does not like in toroids on that coax. So I don't really have a problem on HF, though. When I fired up 6 meter, man, it bled over bad. So I had the common mode choke on it too up there, and it didn't help. It's just too much power for close to the roof, and it's just not going to work. I didn't want my neighbors to start complaining, so I took it down. It definitely wasn't going to work. I keyed it up with 100 watts, and it about blew my surround sound bass speaker out. So yeah, that's it needs to be further away from the building is what it is. So my 6 meter dreams are dashed, guys. That's the way it goes. But 40 does work. I did have it working on through the mag loop, and the reason why I put the smaller loop onto the radio side and put the big loop with the noisier stuff on the SDR. As you notice, whenever I turned to 40 meter, that antenna was completely flat. I mean, there was no noise whatsoever in that radio. So that's the benefit, guys, to setting that up that way. Yeah, you could just stick with the big loop, hook it up, and you'd be still be good. I mean, it's working right there, you can see. But minute you go to that little loop, it'll suck the noise clean out of it. You're getting pure signal coming through right there. So I'm gonna probably do a video on that for the mag loop side, for the mag loop videos. That way you guys can see it, and what's cool is it shows it on the scope. It shows the peak. So I was playing with it yesterday, and it was pretty awesome. I'm really happy with it because it has no noise, and I'm receiving 80 and 40, some of 17, but yeah, I'm having trouble with the tuning, and I think that SDR was doubling channels and making me think I was getting signals in a band that wasn't actually those signals. So that could be the problem with that, why it's not working as well on this. So I'll have to play around with that, but that'll be on the mag loop videos, guys. So if you're not into that, I got so far 5 of them out, part 5. And I'll come up with a part 6 explaining that with the mag loop and how it's set up and everything. But I wanted you guys to see the base. This is the all mode, so it does UHF, VHF, and HF. And with the compact antenna that's up on the roof, the 2-meter microbeam, it's dual band, and it has wide receive. I can go all the way up to 1.5, and I was checking out 800 megahertz, and it was working fine. I don't have a problem at 100 megahertz up. It's the HF down. I'm missing a few bands there now, so I think it was because that was doubling. The SDR was doubling the channels. They're notorious for that because they're not a very good radio. But there's the power supply. Same thing there. I added the 2 toroids down here. Okay, just let me get some light. I added 2 toroids there because that cord is so thick I couldn't wrap it very many times. And then of course we got the toroid on the power cable also. It's hidden back there. Yeah, right up here. I pulled it through. Okay, that's just wrapped up. 2 toroids for that. That's the mouse cable, don't worry about that. And then back here I put the big toroid on the power cable right back there. Okay, coming into the power for the radio. It has no noise. It's clean. I'm really surprised at how clean it is. Hardly no noise at all. Oh, let me lock that. But yeah, that I got a lot to study still on the amplifiers and preamps. On this radio, the IPO is the preamp. They call it IPO. So yeah, there's a lot of different functionalities that I got to go through still. But I guess put your big stocking out. Maybe Santa will bring you something. So, but that's pretty much the connections, guys. You've seen the ground from last time. You know, the big ground rod with the ground straps coming in. I did move this from over here to out here just for the coax sake. This is pretty thick coax. So that's heavy duty stuff. That's the 400 Max from DX Engineering. And of course the ground. And then I got my toroids laid out on the mag loop every so often there. You can see. So other than that, that's pretty much the setup. I was quite surprised, you know, how it all came together. The planning worked out for everything I needed. I was shy 1 jumper. That was it. That's a 213 jumper, but I'm gonna get a different another high isolation one, military grade one for it. That way I don't have to worry about my coax. It's all done. So I wanted you guys to see that. There's the old mobile. I'm gonna get ready to put it out in the car. Put it up. Got the tri-band antenna. And then got this all programmed. What was nice is I got to set it up and use it and learn where the buttons are and, you know, its little intricacies about it before I stuck it in the car. That way you're not sitting in the car having to learn all that. So that's something to think about, guys. You know, it was nice being able to sit in here and not have to, you know, worry about the car seat or the car battery dying or something like that. So, but now it's all programmed and ready to go. So all I got to do is stick it in. Yeah, the 6-meter I had to call my Mochoke on it up there, and that thing's rated for, I put 2 big thick ones on it, so it should be rated for at least 1,000 watts, and I only kicked it to 100, and man, it it was getting into a lot of stuff. So my HF, I think, is not going to happen here unless I can get an antenna away. But I don't know. I can try the mag loop still. That's my last and final hope here, I guess. If I can get it all weatherproofed and get it on a pole outside. I think it needs to be 9 feet, 10 feet tall on a pole, 10 foot. And I can, I'll probably get 50 watts out of that before it was short. I don't know, I might get more. I'm just, you gotta locate and know where your weakest points are, where it would flash over. That's what you gotta figure out. I think the weakest is the transmit capacitor there. That or the motor. It may arc over that motor. But I'm gonna metal case that motor and then plastic case the capacitor here. So that's going to be my final hope, I think, for HF. Any kind of work on HF. It's tuned for 6 meter, but I'll have to actually tune it up here to make it work on 6 meter. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. I'll have to make a video for that, guys. But there's the setup. That's the 991A and the Shack in the Box. And like I said, guys, you might not, I haven't seen this switch. Most guys go for the desk mic. And I've learned from that. So you might learn from my mistake. You know, if you're going to be talking on your radio a lot, it makes a difference if you're constantly, you know, doing that. Leaning down, keying down. Okay, key down some more. That gets on you after a while, guys. So, you know, you can just sit right in your chair. I can lean back even and pull this microphone up close to, and it's right there. And you're all good. It's a lot better than leaning down on a desk mic, that's for sure. Now, the hand mics aren't as loud as the microphones, so you're going to gain in decibels, okay, using a good mic like that versus a handheld mic. Those handheld mics, they just don't have no modulation. It sounds like you're talking in a box. So, that's the setup to go with if you want to, you know, get it going. I went with the Yaesu because it does HF, it does it all. So that's hard to beat. Whenever you gotta think, if you buy just a VHF UHF rig like the 7300, you're gonna have to have another power supply if you want an HF rig, right? So there's another, you know, 200, right? Then you got another price of another radio. So, you know, you can't beat that for price because it does it all. And the audio is awesome on this, receive-wise and transmit-wise. You can do a lot of adjustment. And I found out, the guys I was talking to said I've doubled my loudness just by making a few adjustments in that radio. So I'm giving that one a thumbs up from Yaesu. The only downfall is the screen's not as good as the 7300, and the scope's a little slow. To be honest, the scope on this is way better on the RTL than what it is on this one, but it does work. So it does have a scope. I'd say more than likely what you want to do, if you're going to looking for money wise, that one, all mode, all band, and it comes with a carrying handle right here, so you can make it portable. So that sold me. I wish the screen was bigger, but I wish the scope was a little better. But other than that, man, that's the radio to have. So if you, for the money, saves you from having to buy an extra power supply and have 2 radios. And then extra jumpers for those. You're going to buy jumpers for those. And then you're going to run into meter problems because you're going to have one radio, you know. There's a whole other ball game that you're into there. So just to give you guys a heads up on that. You know, plan ahead. You know, get a 30 amp or bigger power supply or straight off. That way it'll power a base or a mobile. Like that. That's how I started out. So I hope that'll give you guys some advance, you know, when you're planning on building your shack, you know. And the mag loop ties in to the HF side now. So, you know, that's a plus for having a mag loop. Now you got some receive side on that, on your base. So it worked out. So anyway, like I said, don't forget to put out your guys' stocking. You know, you need a big one though. Don't forget your big one. You know, saying it can't get the radio and stuff in there, you know, you're gonna have a problem. So, but anyway, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hopefully better than what it's been. It's got to get better, hopefully. All right, guys, 73s. Y'all have a Merry Christmas.